Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the PSES Melody Woodworks Championship Race here at Phoenix Raceway. I gotta say a huge thank you to all of you guys for the support you've shown these amazing drivers and the love you've shown to us on the broadcast. A lot has led up to this point, and it has been a wild ride, one that not many will soon forget. So before we get started tonight, let's take a look at our Championship 4. And thank you guys for tuning in. I know that they appreciate it, and so do we. A moment that sometimes felt far away. The road to the championship ends tonight. Only 125 laps separate one driver from the ultimate moment in racing, a championship title. Tonight, we will watch for the final time this season PSES drivers compete against one another, all with the same goal. 4 have a chance, but only 1 will be crowned. With that said, let's introduce our 2021 PSES Championship contenders. One of only 2 drivers to lock into the Final 4 with a win, once again proving he's got what it takes, FTR driver John Honeycutt. Pilot of the number 50 high-tech security services Chevy Camaro, John quickly became a fan favorite this season. The highest finisher of the Final 4 who ran at the spring race at Phoenix, Honeycutt captured a top 5. With an average finish of 11th and celebrating in victory lane twice this season, Honeycutt is confident in his ability and ready to lay claim to the coveted title here at Phoenix Raceway. Taking the checkered flag a whopping 9 times this season, including last week locking him into Phoenix, Andrew Wisdom is no stranger to victory lane. Driver of the number 9 Bass Pro Shops Chevy Camaro for Nitro Motorsports, Wisdom, along with teammate Matthew O'Brien, have been at the top all season long. At Phoenix in the spring, Wisdom finished 1 position behind Honeycutt in 6th, once again proving that he has what it takes to secure a championship title. With the best average finish of 6 out of the Final 4 and wins to back it up, Wisdom hopes to revel in the glory of being crowned champion. Joining later in the season for Team FTR, he came in with speed, aggressive moves, and the desire to win. Securing his spot in the playoffs in the dirt at Bristol, Hunter Johnson, driver of the number 32 Toyota, made his presence known. Pushing his car to the limit, Johnson has been known to take the number 32 machine from the back to the front and make it look easy. Holding an average finish of 9th with 2 wins that punched his ticket to the next round in playoffs, Hunter, now on Team Output Racing, is ready to take Phoenix by storm and win the championship. The only driver in the Final 4 with just 1 win this season, Matthew O'Brien has claimed his spot at the top with incredible consistency and perseverance. O'Brien, driver of the number 17 Michigan Tech Toyota Camry for Nitro Motorsports, is known for his clean driving and uncanny ability to quietly navigate his way to the front where he shines. His consistency and speed on track, paired with his amazing ability to save tires, has the championship hopefuls taking notes. An average finish of 8th, O'Brien is ready to join the racing royalty with a 2021 PSES Cup Series championship. Each driver with different talents and abilities. One thing is for certain, these 4 are always seen at the front, and Phoenix will be no different. So before we get started here tonight, let's hear from our championship hopefuls before they hit the track. All right, first up, I want to get Honeycutt. We saw your video out there. Pressure is on and building for Phoenix with the win you got at Kansas. That locked you into the Final 4. Does that build confidence for tonight that you were able to lock yourself in while under pressure?
Yeah, absolutely. I felt pretty good at that particular race. I was again nervous, but once I got comfortable with the car and got it rolling at the end of that race there. I felt like on the older tires, I felt really good. I felt like I could possibly maybe pass the two guys in front of me and to win that race, but they made it really easy by taking each other out, and I was able to take the win. So tonight, I'm feeling the same. I'm hoping that the same outcome happens again. I'm able to put myself in the right position to win tonight's race.
Absolutely. Well, since we're on that topic, who do you see as your biggest competition here tonight?
All three of them. They're
Yeah.
all good. I mean, obviously, Wisdom has been the most dominant driver all year long. He's been setting the bar for everyone. But you can't count out Matt O'Brien, who's normally the silent assassin. He's always up there in the top five, top three. And then you got Johnson, who's just really good, talented driver, aggressive. I like the way he drives. We normally have really good door to door, bumper to bumper battles out in every track. Um, so I don't know. They're all great. They're all amazing, and it's going to be tough.
I agree. I mean, it is a stacked four here tonight. So I'm pretty excited. I know there's a lot of nerves going around here tonight. So I just wish you a ton of luck there, John. I won't keep you any longer, but thanks for coming in the booth with us and being here tonight. And I wish you a ton of luck.
Thank you. And I do want to thank High Tech Security, Melody Woodworks for sponsoring the race, my sister, mom, my cousin Sarah, everybody who's watching. Thank you for coming out, and hopefully we put on a really good show tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, J. Paul, for the cheers. I appreciate it. All right, we're going to move on to Andrew Wisdom. 9 wins this season is absolutely incredible. I mean, you have dominated out there for 9 wins. Is there more pressure tonight, or are you treating it like any other race?
I'm just trying to treat it like any other race as much as I can. I mean, I think, at least personally, there's going to be a little bit of higher stakes and maybe a little more nerves, just with everything that is going on here. But I don't know. I mean, I enjoy this track. I enjoy this package on the car. So at least I'm having a lot of fun driving it, if nothing else. Just happy to be here. Thankful to be here. This year in this league was the first time I've ever actually kind of put myself out there in a league and race with people that I didn't know, just to try to expand my skill set a little bit. So just thankful for the opportunity. Feel good. Car feels fast. So we'll see if we can get it done.
Absolutely. All right. Well, I asked Honeycutt. I got to ask you, who's the biggest competition that you see out of the Final Four?
I'm gonna have to give it to all of them too. I mean, like you said, and kind of like he alluded to, everybody has their own skill set and their own talents, and I mean, this race could go any direction. We could go green all the way, and it could be up in Matt's wheelhouse with his ability to save tires and get you on the long run. It could be short sprints where Honeycutt and Johnson are just really fast all the time, or even kind of a mixture of cautions where I feel like everybody in the Final Four is good at making strategy calls, and they're even able to mix it up and try to get the job done just by doing something a little different. So. I don't know if it's one person in particular. I think everybody's good at different things, and you never know how the race is going to go. So,
I hear you, and that is most certainly fair. So I know you and I talked earlier, and I think you're going to have a really strong run tonight. So I wish you a ton of luck, and we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
All right. Hunter, we're going to have Hunter Johnson out here. I got to say, knowing that you race in real life, carrying that over to the sim, what does it take to win a championship here tonight?
I'm gonna be honest, I still don't have any idea. Real life, got a car that can outrun the field. Tonight, kind of got the same car, just completely different drivers. So we'll see. I guess what happens. Still nervous.
Yeah, I've heard that from everyone. I was able to talk to everyone but you because you came in a little bit later. But yeah, a lot of nervousness going on here, little anxiousness. But are you going to change any of your strategy tonight on how you run?
I don't think so. I think it'd be just any other race. Try to keep it clean. Try not to hit nobody. Try not to kill myself. I feel like that's gonna be my biggest thing. Is probably I'm gonna kill myself coming off one of these corners and be the end of it.
Well, hopefully not. I want to see all you guys battle it out till the very end. And which brings me to the final thing. Just like I asked everyone else, who is your biggest competition out here tonight?
Everybody.
Yeah,
everybody.
I think that is going to be the thing all around. I mean, there's just, like we said, there's just so much talent out there in the Final Four especially. So it's going to be a wild ride tonight.
Very much. All four of us are very consistent. All four of us always at the front. All four of us got our own unique driving ways, and it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited to see how tonight goes.
Absolutely. Well, I wish you a ton of luck out there, and as I said, we'll see what happens tonight.
Thank you.
All right, take it easy. Next up, we have Matt O'Brien in the Final Four here. And Matt O'Brien, you have been so consistent out there. We've seen your ability to be consistent, to save tires, to make your way through the field up front. Are we going to see the same tonight, or are you going to have a different strategy in mind?
Probably first half you're going to see the same thing, but I mean, depending on how the race goes and what I'm feeling, that kind of dictates what's going to happen in the second half. But, I don't really feel any different than normal.
Do you feel like you have a stronger long run or a short run car?
I'm not really sure. I mean, because it's a rescan and the track feels completely different.
Yes.
We're all gonna kind of be basically going in, learning under fire what's too hard, driving too hard, or what's driving too soft. So I guess it's gonna be just everyone's just gonna shoot for a random target, I guess, on what they're feeling and hope that's the right one, because no one really knows.
It's so true. It's so true. And I'm going to ask you the same thing I asked everybody else, and I'll probably get the same answer, but who do you feel is your biggest competition out here tonight out of the Final Four?
Same as everyone else. Can't count anyone out.
Yeah. I mean, I've been so impressed with you guys and watching you guys grow and making some awesome moves throughout the field and everything. It's just been a blast. So the final race, I'm excited. I'm a little sad, but it's been a wild ride. So thank you, Matt, for being in the booth with us here tonight, and I wish you a ton of luck out there.
Yeah. You too, for doing all these broadcasts.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You guys heard it. That is the Final Four. And of course, we have J-Mac out here. J-Mac, how you doing?
I'm doing good. I was not ready for that, but yeah, I am doing excellent.
Glad to hear. You guys.
1 minute earlier than I said pre-race, I was going to be ready.
You were so close, though. I'm always, you know me, I'm always early. I want to make sure I have enough time for everyone, because you never know. Someone may be chatty or whatever, so I just want to give everyone enough time. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chris Bathke says, I have company tonight, but had to stop on out to say hi. Combat Beast says his pick. I got to go back up here. Matthew, aka Karma. Let me know who your pick is. We have Fabiat out here. Says, thanks, John, number 50, for the shout out. Love you, bro. You guys are awesome. I'm loving all these shout outs. Oh my goodness. Sammy Harrell watching while traveling to Disney. I want to go. Duct Tape saying, let's go Cole Snyder. Love it. Man, I'll tell you what, it is going to be a hard pick, but if you guys want, let me know who your pick is tonight. This is for a championship. I mean, this is it. This is what these guys have been waiting for, what they've been running for. So let me know. But let's take a look at the times out here, Jordan. We have Andrew Wisdom at the top of the board with a 26.38. He is one of the Final Four. We also have his teammate, Matthew O'Brien, with a 26.45. This is still practice, guys. We're early here tonight. Robert Reynolds, he is out here with a 26.46. Not one of the Final Four, but I'll tell you what, his consistency and speed, he's really picked it up race after race. So I'm excited to see what he can do here tonight. And take a look at this. Joel Conley in that number 1 car, 26.49. And he cracks me up because he's always saying how pit road is his enemy out there. But Honeycutt is going to be the next Final Four driver with a 26.55. Hunter Johnson is going to be in that number 32 car. And 8th position so far in practice with a 26.55. 26.66. Jordan, do we have any guesses as to who we're going to see up front, who might win tonight?
I mean, first to look at it are Championship 4, obviously. Our 4 drivers competing tonight for that PSES Championship. We got to talk to all of them. All of them seem a nice mix of confident and uncertain how this race will go tonight. And honestly, I feel the same way. As they noted, it is a complete rescanning of the racetrack. It is the new, or I guess it's not really new in real life anymore, but the current Phoenix Raceway. The old one with the start-finish line on the back straight has been completely done away with, and this track drives completely different than any version of Phoenix that has been on iRacing. It's been a tough one for me personally to get a handle on, and I imagine it is going to be the same way with our drivers out there who are going to be competing tonight, trying to earn themselves a championship.
Absolutely. And there's only 125 laps separating one of these drivers from a championship title. You have drivers like John Honeycutt, who this is his first Cup Series. Already made it into the Final Four, so if he wins this is not only going to be his first set of leagues that he's in, especially for Cup Series, his first one, as he just got on iRacing right before this. It's going to be his very first championship, and I can guarantee you we're going to hear a lot of screams from any of these drivers if they take that home, which is going to be so cool to see. I absolutely love it. I do have to give a shout out to all the admins here for having Jordan and I here all season long. It has been so much fun, and like I said, I'm a little sad it's over. It's been a lot of fun, a lot of experience. This is my first league I've announced on iRacing, along with Jordan, I do believe, because he came here after I did as far as iRacing goes. So it's been super fun, and I'm pretty excited that we've gone through the first season together, Jordan.
Yeah, it's crazy to think that this all started back in February. I had been on the service for not even 2 full months, and now here we are. I'm almost a full year in come December. We're in November. It's the time has flown. I'm about to be unable to. Anytime I wreck somebody, I can't say I'm new at this. That's going to be the disappointing part of everything. But it's been wild. It's been crazy. It's been a lot of fun. And it's been a long, long season. But tonight, it all concludes once more. And again, we did run at Phoenix earlier in the year, but nothing, it doesn't seem, is going to translate from that race. Because, again, it is a completely different racetrack than the one that we raced on way back in February or March or whatever month it was, but it was one of those.
It was one of those, and it's crazy to think because John Honeycutt, he was in the top 5 for a finish at Phoenix. Wisdom, he finished right behind him in P6, so these guys very, very close. I don't think we had Matthew O'Brien out there at Phoenix in the spring, so this will be the first time that we're going to see him compete at Phoenix and see what he can do here. But I gotta give some love out to Melody Woodworks. Thank you so much for sponsoring tonight, along with High Tech Security Services. They've been with us throughout the playoffs, and we are just so appreciative of everything they've done for us. So thank you guys so much. Tonight's race is brought to you by Melody Woodworks. 125 laps here at Phoenix. We're gonna crown the champion. See who it is. It's going to be one of 4 drivers: John Honeycutt, Andrew Wisdom, Matthew O'Brien, or Hunter Johnson. And we have 2 of those drivers that are out here. Top 2 for practice times at the moment: 26.38 for Wisdom and a 26.455 for Matthew O'Brien. So it's just going to be incredibly close tonight as these guys are getting ready to go to qualifying. Any predictions from you guys out in the audience? You guys let me know. Jungle Cat says gonna have to vote Rage for it all. I should say send in Rage. Titan says number 50, let's go. The times are so close, and oh my goodness, you guys you guys just saw that. That's the end of practice. You got a little peek at what these guys can do. Now we're headed to qualifying. Oh my goodness, what a view out there. Joel Conley already out, going for his lap here. We're gonna see what time he can put up here. Titan says the trophy is coming along nicely. I do believe that,
Joel's
yeah,
around.
he is around. Oh my goodness. Lucky
And-
for him, he'll be able to redo that if needed.
Yeah, and that's one thing. This track incredibly sketchy. From my experience out there trying to get some laps in with these guys, the right rear tire never really gets comfortable over the course of a run, but on cold tires it is really, really bad. We can see Robert Reynolds using that high line. It's going to be interesting to see. Something that was working for me to maximize my lap time was taking it easy the first lap and then running that high line in 3 and 4 and putting all the eggs in the second lap. But I think a lot of these drivers are thinking the max tire life is in that first lap. And so they're going to be going for it on that one. So it's going to be driver preference, what they think is the better thing. Is it going to be cool? Is it going to be warmed up tires, or is it going to be that one lap fresher tires? As Robert Reynolds puts down a nice 26.545. Andrew Wisdom with a 26.350.
Wow.
So faster than he ran in practice.
That is absolutely insane. And I'll tell you what, they do have the traction compound out here on the track. These guys are going to be looking for the grip. Robert Reynolds gets loose coming off the exit there, and that is a exit that Jordan and I were talking about earlier. Extremely loose out there that these guys are going to have to watch out for. That is coming off of the second turn here, so these guys are going to have to watch it. But man, what a burner Wisdom has put down. That's going to be tough to beat there, Jordan.
Yeah, that's going to be incredibly difficult to beat, and it's crazy how hard you have to cut that course, and that's the whole reason. That's almost as much of a reason to run that high line in 3 and 4 as it is to get the speed down the straightaway, because you really have to get that car straightened up on corner exits so that you can cut it down and basically pinch that pit road exit. That's how close these drivers are getting. They could stick their hand out the window and slap it, which would not be good to do at about 150 miles an hour, 160, however fast they're going by that thing. But yeah, that's the line that you're going for sure to hit a nice fast hot lap here at the new and improved Phoenix Raceway.
Yeah, it is so. I love all the details that they have put into this track, but it most definitely drives different. You really want to hug that inside line going into 3 and 4. So we'll see what these guys do. You can see Honeycutt really cutting that dog leg. It's going to help him out time-wise. I don't know that we're going to see that a lot during the race in the long run. We'll see how much it burns up those tires, but you can see him really getting loose coming off that exit there. He's able to hold on to it, and he's going to put, we're going to find out what time he's going to put down in a second here. I want to take a look as we're crossing over the line. That will put him 4th in time with a 26.62.
Yeah, and something to notice there, he was basically, all of these drivers seem to be going for it on that first lap, and you can see there he kind of took some time out of this lap straightening up that exit on turn 4 and going straight toward the start-finish line. If you try to curve it at all, you're taking time away from that lap, but as you can see, he turns down just a little bit. If you keep it right up against that wall, you can maximize your time, but John Honeycutt with a 4.97 running much faster on his second lap. That will slot him into the 3rd position.
Yeah, I think that's one of his quickest times of the night, so he's going to be super happy about that. He's going to have some help out there on the spotter stand too, so hopefully that will kind of calm his nerves and help him, stay consistent throughout the race tonight. These drivers talking to him, so much nervousness going into this race tonight. I mean, this is it. This is a championship race, and I'm reading the comments. You guys are amazing. Fabia, thank you so much. Says, thank you, Eliza and Jordan. You both have been great. Good luck on your next journey. Suave saying, gonna miss you too. We're gonna miss you guys. Like I said, it's been so much fun, and I'll tell you what, the number 50 fans are definitely showing up tonight once again. We have several other fans, but I gotta say this, back to Titan. He says the trophy is coming along nicely. Melody Woodworks, they are putting out a trophy for the championship winner. How cool is that? So not only do we have bragging rights tonight, but we also have a trophy going to the championship winner. So huge shout out to them for making that happen for one of these amazing drivers. So really cool to see that out here. Let's take a look at Hunter Johnson, I swear.
John Hunter Nemechek. John Hunter Johnson
so.
Nemechek Johnson.
Right? He's out here trying to put down a fast lap. We have Wisdom and O'Brien and Honeycutt. Those are 3 of the final 4. Will we see Hunter Johnson out there able to make the top 4 drivers? I know. We're going to have the Titanic flute here.
Yeah, Hunter Johnson, 4th out of our playoff drivers, but 5th overall, so still a very good starting spot. Was able to beat his practice time by over a 10th. John Honeycutt beat his practice time by about a half a 10th. O'Brien was about 3 thousandths off of, or 300ths, I should say, off of his practice time, while Andrew Wisdom bettered his by almost a 4 thousandths. So times really, really close. Several of our drivers able to back up their times or flat out beat them. But all 4 of our playoff drivers tonight, all 4 of our championship eligible racers for tonight's championship race, currently slotted to start inside the top 5 with under 3.5 minutes to go in this practice session.
This is absolutely wild.
Qualifying session, I should say.
Yeah, qualifying out here. But take a look at Hunter Johnson showing off those drifting skills. You guys have seen him do it before. I mean, he was drifting all over the place a couple of races ago. Kind of showing off here for the final race. Jamie Haynes going to go out on track. Not a lot of drivers out here tonight. We're sitting under 20 drivers. I think a lot of these guys wanted to make sure that these final 4 could race it out with not too much craziness going on around them. So a shorter field, but I think it's going to make for an exciting race as we have around 20 drivers. So it's going to be pretty cool. Alpha, thank you so much. He says, thank you guys for what you've done all season. 110% professional.
Oh, that's not what you want to see.
What?
Oh, the 53 of Jamie Haynes, I was following him. He was running the strategy that I was considering would be the one that some of these drivers would employ, that I think I would personally try if I were out there, running it real easy that first lap, but he managed to hit the wall, yeah, that pretty much destroyed his attempt at getting up to speed, and so that's gonna set him back a little bit. I imagine Jamie Haynes, our championship runner-up from Monday night, was finished second to our PSES Truck Series champion Matthew O'Brien at Charlotte. So those two put on a heck of a show, a heck of a battle, and that was a fun one. And congrats to those two on putting on a good race. Congrats to O'Brien on his championship. Now he's going to try to go get himself a cup one tonight.
Can you imagine 2 championships in 1 week? I can't even imagine. It's so hard to get one. If he gets 2,
I only have one in my entire life, so
if he gets this one, he needs to go play the lottery. I'm telling you.
Shout out to Shake and Bake IndyCar.
Glad we could get you your championship. It was a well-deserved one, too, I might say. But Andrew Wisdom,
it was
one of the final 4. He is going to be on the pole tonight. It's going to be a wild race. We have Matt O'Brien in second, one of the final 4. John Honeycutt, that number 50 machine, he's going to be P3. Robert Reynolds in 4th. And Hunter Johnson, the final of the 4 for the championship contender. He's going to be P5 starting out. Kool-Aid, what's up? I see you out there. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. These guys are getting ready to go racing. We're going to be starting up the grid pretty shortly here. Not coming up just yet. It's thinking about it. I cannot believe how fast Wisdom was, though. That's pretty incredible. So, obviously not going to be race pace. Only 13 drivers put down a time there, Jordan.
Kool-Aid cheered. X100.
Sorry, what was that?
I said only 13 drivers put down the time. It's less than I thought would.
Yeah, I'm interested how many of them might have had issues when they went out to put a lap down. If you hit the wall or whatever, it'll nullify your attempt at putting a lap down. So wondering how many of those drivers might have had those kind of issues. I'm sure a lot of them opting to simply sit out this qualifying session, not wanting to put themselves up in amongst the field, probably want to be nice and patient here. We are getting ready to go green. Qualifying is over. Andrew Wisdom is officially your pole sitter.
He is. So let's get going to the Melody Woodworks Championship grid. We have Andrew Wisdom on pole in that number 9 car for Nitro Motorsports. He's got his teammate Matt O'Brien on the outside in that number 17. Row 2, we have John Honeycutt in the number 50 for Frozen Toes Racing with Robert Reynolds on the outside in that number 10. Row 3, we have Hunter Johnson in the number 32, and he's got Joel Conley on the outside in that number 1 car. In row 4, we have Cole Snyder in the 23 with Charlie Mosley Jr. on the outside in the number 89. And in row 5, Richard Rico in the number 18 with Doc Holliday in that number 88.
In row 6, Douglas King is alongside Thomas Flitcroft, Jacob Kerr and Ryan Crooks. Or no, not Ryan Crooks, but Jacob Kerr and Jamie Haynes, I should say, in row 7. Sean Burke, who was a playoff driver, eliminated earlier, alongside Jose Ruiz in row 8. Maurice Burnett is alongside Ryan Crooks in row 9. And Byron Jones and Michael Kienzel in row 10. And those are the 20 drivers make up this field tonight. A abbreviated field. A few drivers opting to take it off tonight. Let the championship play out on its own. Maybe sit at home and watch. Hopefully they're watching if they put in the time to race every week. Hopefully they're being engaged in this race somehow, some way. And that'll be your starting grid tonight.
These guys are getting ready to start off on the pace lap. Bama says we gonna crash. Hopefully not. No one's crashing. It is loose conditions out there though, guys. We are going to get loose, especially coming off at turn 2. And you're going to hear me say the wrong turn several times. They have switched the configuration, moved the start-finish line from where it used to be. So I'm going to call some wrong turn names here every once in a while. My apologies.
Yeah, and you noted the loose conditions even with the late start time, and that really never goes away. The balance feels pretty okay. It's just if you get too aggressive with the steering input or the throttle input, the rear end can be really, really unforgiving. The right rear tire can take a bit of a beating, so you want to take care of that over the course of a long run. And yeah, these drivers are going to be in for a challenge tonight, but we're getting ready to go green here pretty soon.
Melody Woodworks Championship race at Phoenix. These guys are getting ready to go. They will go at green. And here we go for the final time this season. 125 laps, and already they are cutting the dog leg. Take a look at this. Gonna try to file out single file. John Honeycutt going underneath the 17. So close, Jordan.
Yeah, the 50 really. Oh, the 32 losing it. It might have been some contact between the 32 and 50 that caused that. The 32 got on the gas real hard. He was loose. The only car that looked smooth and stable there was the 9 of Andrew Wisdom. And you noted them cutting the dog leg. They're going to be doing that the entirety of the run. You see the 32, he's running that high line, but noticed in practice, everyone has been below the yellow line. And so I imagine all of these drivers are going to be doing that the entirety of the run, and that could be a really tough line to run. It can try to jerk your wheel around as you go over that transition between the banking and the flat. But meanwhile, John Honeycutt powers around Hunter Johnson to take the second place away.
Yeah, take a look at this. He is already being aggressive, trying to just put himself in a good position for the long run. Meanwhile, Andrew Wisdom already out here in the front, leading this place, and he has put quite the gap on these guys who are battling for P2. Doing a great job, but I'm curious how the long run is going to be for these guys that are already battling it out. 1 through 4, these are the playoff drivers, so it's going to be a wild ride. 125 laps. We are on lap 4 of 125, and this has been pretty exciting so far. P2, this race is absolutely insane. They're going for everything, and it looked like Honeycutt got so close to that wall, but he managed to keep it off.
Yeah, I was afraid he was going to get loose, trying to keep it out of the wall. He was going to get a little push loose, but was able to keep it out of the wall, keep that car underneath him. Hunter Johnson now moves to the outside, not able to make the move. They're going to go into turn 1 now, and using a lot of the track. The bottom lane is kind of where you want to be, but in 1 and 2, you can sort of arc it down, get a little bit of a late apex to get that run, maximize that run down the back straight into turn 3. Turn 3, a really, really deceptive corner. You have to get slowed down for really quickly and then get to the gas as quickly as possible to maximize that exit. Allow yourself to get up to speed while you're opening up the steering at the start-finish line so you can get set up for the dog leg, which is it's considered a straight, but it's basically another corner with the way that the track is now set up, and with this new configuration, the dog leg itself is its own sort of obstacle to deal with. But meanwhile, side by side again for second.
Side by side for second, and we're on board with Hunter Johnson for the Melody Woodworks cam. He went through the dog leg, cutting that thing. He's got John Honeycutt on the outside. As we're going through the straightaway, these guys are running extremely close. You're going to see him cut it really close, snug against that yellow line. He's going to move up the track. That's how you want to run it. You want to keep it really tight, but he's going to move into P2. John Honeycutt going to move into P3, and Matt O'Brien, no surprise here. He's just kind of hanging out saying, you do all the racing, wear your tires out. I'll see you later.
Yeah, and with this new configuration, you don't know how hard Andrew Wisdom is driving. Is he driving too hard? Is he pacing it well? Has he been able to get that gap because of the racing these other drivers are going through? And with this new configuration, it really does seem like it has widened the racetrack out already early. We're seeing a lot of different drivers use a lot of different lines, a lot of different places in the racetrack. Looks like the 50 might have overdriven the entry there, but he's going to try to use that to his advantage. Diamond in the corner, but he's going to lose some ground to the 32 of Hunter Johnson. Now the 17 of Matthew O'Brien is looking to his inside. Now a little bit late into the corner, but he's going to get down to the yellow line, try to power it down. But Honeycutt has a nice exit. Nice center through 3 and 4. He's going to maintain that gap over O'Brien.
I'm curious if the nerves have finally gone from the drivers. They're on track. They're running the laps now, so they're in race mode at this point. So all they need to do is concentrate on what's ahead of them. We're seeing a little bit of gap between second, third, and fourth, but Andrew Wisdom, I mean, this guy running a 0.3 out there, absolutely incredible. He's very confident. He has 9 wins this season. If he can bring this one home, it's going to be 10. But remember, they don't have to win. They just have to beat the other 3. So it's whoever crosses that line first will be the winner tonight. Meanwhile, we have some other guys that are looking for a win. We have Joel Conley in the top 5. He can go for that win tonight. He's looking for his first win. Robert Reynolds, who's been so strong lately, he's looking for a win. All these guys are. Richard Rico in the top 10, doing an amazing job out here. Cole Snyder fans out here. He's been doing phenomenal out here in the past several races. He's running P8, Jordan.
Yeah, the one of Joe Conley having a really strong run here today, running with these top 4 that are competing for the championship. O'Brien continues to try to look for a way around the 50 of Honeycutt. Honeycutt again seems to be getting into the corner maybe a little harder than he wants. Maybe he's using that higher line to his advantage. But either way, running a little bit different of a line than the 17. Now O'Brien, he looks in a little bit higher, almost up toward the wall. He tries to lay that apex the corner, brings it down about a lane or so. He's going to try to get that run down the back straight, but he's not going to be able to set up a pass here on John Honeycutt. Now he's going to try the same thing through 1 and 2, but it just doesn't seem like that line working for him through that end of the racetrack. Honeycutt seems to have him just a little bit beat there, but the 17 seems to be stronger here in 1 and 2.
I gotta give a shout out. I keep thinking about it. J. Paul, thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate it. 23 for his friend Cole Snyder out there running the 23. He is currently sitting P8, and he's in quite the group. He's done amazing out here. So really excited to see his growth this season. He's done an amazing job. Doc Holliday in 9th. Jacob Kerr for FTR out there in the top 10. Charlie Mosley Jr. in 11th. Love his paint scheme out here tonight. Jamie Haynes, who Jordan mentioned, he was just missed the cutoff, so he is one of those drivers that did not make the Final Four. But he's done also a phenomenal job out here this season. Tom Flitcroft in the number, he's going to be P13 in the number 8. Jose Ruiz in the 14th spot. Sean Burke sitting 15th. Douglas King in 16th. And Ryan Crooks, who's been very strong. It's showing him in 17th, although I don't see him on the track.
Yeah, it looks like only 16 of our drivers attempted to actually start the race. Crooks, Burnett, Kinzel, and Byron Jones did not take the green flag. So of the 20 that were slated to start this event, only 16 have actually shown. So, again, an abbreviated field, not a lot of opportunity for yellow flags. Because of that, a lot fewer drivers, a lot fewer opportunities for big mistakes that will bring out that dreaded caution flag. So we can expect this race to go green. One thing that I was noticing is it feels 62, 63 laps doesn't seem undoable on fuel if you try to save it. This race 125 laps long, so exactly at 62.5. So there is that opportunity for fuel saving if you wanted to. Obviously, we're probably too late into the run for any driver to try to save some fuel here, but maybe in that second run, if they run the fuel out here, maybe there'll be that opportunity for fuel saving if we can get some green flag racing. And right now, the way this race is playing out, that looks like a definite possibility as John Honeycutt moves to the inside of Hunter Johnson for second.
Yeah,
and slides up in front of him.
These guys are really starting to battle it out again as John Honeycutt has made his move for second.
Oh,
Andrew Wisdom still up there, but yeah, these guys are getting loose. And as you're running that, especially coming off the dog leg, you can really, there's an issue where you can hit the wall on the outside. It kind of flings your car around a little bit. So we're going to see an issue with that possibly coming up in the long run. But so far, these guys are handling it really well. But I'm going to say John Honeycutt looking very consistent out there, looking very confident. Hunter Johnson kind of backing down a little bit. We'll see if his tires are wearing. He's been one where he's super aggressive. He's going to give everything he's got, and sometimes it's not paying off in the long run, and we're hitting on a long run lap here. So lap 21 of 125. We still have quite a few laps to go before these guys have to pit, but it's going to be interesting to see how the tires last for these guys.
I don't know if the tires are going to be that big of an issue. Again, I think right now, I'm assuming green flag, fuel is going to be the biggest thing. Obviously, saving tire here will help your pace. So to that effect, yes, tires are going to be a big deal. But again, I wonder if these drivers know, again, a lot of inexperience with how this racetrack drives, what kind of fuel mileage you can get, all that sort of mess. So the big mystery is going to come into effect here at this portion of the run. Who has overdriven their car? But it doesn't look like Andrew Wisdom has done so, as he has extended that lead out to 3 seconds over the rest of our top 5, who are on top of each other right now. John Honeycutt, Hunter Johnson, Matthew O'Brien, and Joel Conley, again having a very strong run in P5. Those 4 on top of each other as they go through 1 and 2 and head onto the back straight.
Yeah, I want to take a look at the gap that is in between these guys. Almost 3.5 seconds for the gap in between Wisdom and Honeycutt, who is our second place. That's a pretty big gap. So Andrew Wisdom really sitting in a prime spot out there. He did a great job getting pole, and that's what you need. You need that position out there to make sure that you have a good run in the race. And once he was able to get away and these guys started to battle back and forth, that really allowed him to increase the gap and get the heck out of Dodge. Meanwhile, Honeycutt, Johnson, O'Brien, and Conley, these 4 drivers are on top of each other. They have Robert Reynolds, who is about 3 seconds behind, so he's going to be the next group. But these guys, these 4, they really have to worry about each other for right now.
I was looking through the field, the 88 getting really loose off of turn 4, was able to hold it under him, but he's going to lose a couple of spots here. I was looking back from the 20 of Jacob Kerr, who is who is currently in the 8th position after starting 13th. He is our biggest mover so far in this race, up 5 positions from where he started. Not a lot of movement through the field. Our largest dropper, I should say, is currently Douglas King, who started in 11th, currently back to 16th, the last race car on the track. Still a straightaway ahead of our leader, so not in any danger of getting lapped at this moment, but the field getting well spread out, except for our top 5. Our top 5 continue, or our 2nd through 5th, I should say. They continue to be nose to tail as Hunter Johnson continuing to get loose off the corners.
Yeah. That's the thing about this in long run, especially coming off at exit 2. We've talked about it, and he made a little bit of contact getting tail happy coming off that exit. He's still okay and still on the run, but it's something that we're going to have to watch in the long run. These guys are going to get loose, and there is a possibility. We saw a lot of it in practice. I love the way he's hugging that yellow. That is definitely going to be the way that you want to run around there, but you can see how loose he's getting off the exit there. You have to make sure that you take it a little wide, follow that groove out of the exit of the turn, and you'll be able to hold on to it, but it really does. These guys are going to start to get super loose eventually. These three still running extremely close. Joel Conley kind of falling off a little bit. He's still there. He's still hanging on. I want to see how he does on pit road. I don't want to jinx him, but he is just having a great run tonight, and I want to see him do well. I want to give him that interview after the race. We'll see what he can do, though.
In contact with the wall. Oh, the 23 of Cole Snyder big time overdrove the entry to 1, might have gotten on the brakes a little hard and went into a 4-tire slide, but he absolutely smoked the wall on the entry to turn 1. Under fire currently from Jacob Curry, trying to pick up another spot. Now the 23 getting loose off the corner. That's going to allow the 20 to make that pass and make that move, go up to the 7th spot. Now Snyder going to have to mitigate that damage, try to figure it out, and hope for a yellow here so we can get that thing repaired, or hope that the caution flags work out, or the run works out. Either way, he needs to get to pit road, get that thing fixed.
Andrew Wisdom still off and running. I'll tell you what, man, this guy is just looking so great out here. What do you see, Jordan?
I was wondering what happened between the 32 and the 1, and the 1 had just let the 32 get in line because he had hit the wall really hard. Hunter Johnson did, coming off of turn 2, I believe is where it was. Either way, Hunter Johnson with some big damage to that right side. So already struggling, and we've noted he likes to sling that car around, and that'll abuse the right rear in a place like this where the right rear is incredibly important, and you need that balance. You need that rear end to stay underneath you. That can be more of a detriment than it can benefit, and right now that 32 not looking comfortable for one of our championship drivers.
Yeah, you know, that's my concern with Hunter Johnson out here. He's so strong, he's got the speed, but man, look at him all over the wheel right now. He is really having to manhandle that, and that's not what you want to see at the moment. We see him do this a lot during races where he's so strong at the beginning, but then he's overdriving it so hard, and he's gotten to situations like this where now he's loose and he's going to have to spend a lot of time saving it, which is obviously going to cost him a lot of time. Raging Baboon, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. You guys, let me know. How are these guys doing for you? Who do you see winning? We have Andrew Wisdom still in the lead, John Honeycutt in 2nd, Matt O'Brien in 3rd, Hunter Johnson, who has fallen back to 4th. Not out of it by any means, but lap 34 of 125. Still a lot of racing left.
Oh!
What do you see, Jordan?
Oh, our leader almost into an issue. The 97 of Douglas King getting loose off the corner, actually got into the wall, really overdrove 1 and 2. I think was trying to give the line to 9 and missed it. Cut off the corner, almost contact between the two of them. I think they missed each other. They hit each other on my screen, but I think it was I think that was net code. I think they actually missed each other in real life. But a scary, scary moment for our leader there as he is starting to work lap traffic, and that's gonna create some interesting, some tense moments, as he's been a couple of tenths faster than John Honeycutt. He has been absolutely pulling away from this entire field, as those drivers are doing everything they can to try to keep him in sight, but he is now a full straightaway ahead of the second place driver. If this thing goes green and he stays mistake free, it's going to be really, really
Mary
tough for
Jean,
any of these guys to be able to make up that
82,366
ground.
cheered.
Yeah,
X100,
absolutely.
Honeycutt.
5-second lead for Wisdom over John Honeycutt, who is passing lap traffic. And speaking of John Honeycutt, Mary Jean with the biddies, 100 biddies, rooting for Honeycutt. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I know Honeycutt appreciates the support. Strata says we're pulling for the 50 of Honeycutt, but it looks like the 9 is going to be tough to beat. Yeah, I mean, you said it right there. He's going to be super tough to beat. Over a 5-second lead over second place. And this guy has already won 9 races. Driving the number 9, that says something right there. Will we make it a 10 tonight? Will he be the championship winner out here? Gonna hold that title? We'll see. Still pretty early, lap 39 of 125, but I'll tell you what, he's looking really strong, Jordan. These guys have a lot of work to do to make it up to him.
Yeah, not a lot of time to complete that work, and if it goes green, then there's really nothing they can do, short of Wisdom making a mistake. Because even if they find speed, if they figure out the line, what to do with, whatever it is that they can figure out to be able to manage to meet his lap times and to be able to keep that longevity in the tire that Wisdom has been able to. They're not going to be able to find enough speed to surpass him and close this gap. So they need a yellow flag, and they need to go to school here in the meantime. Watching Wisdom, he's really entering the corner, sliding up about midway through turns 1 and 2, and then trying to get down to that yellow line, really diamonding it, giving it a late apex. And then kind of the same thing there through 3 and 4, as then he cuts the dog leg, slides back out to the wall, gets really close to it, gets back into the corner about a car width off of the yellow line. Now he's going to try to get back down to that yellow line. Not able to. I think maybe a little distraction from getting around that 223 of Sean Burke. Heads down the back straight, goes down into the corner, gets right down to that yellow line, tries to hug it all the way through the corner, slides up the track, cuts the dog leg. That is a lap with our leader around Phoenix Raceway, as he has already seemed to master this new configuration.
Yeah, hanging out with Wisdom on the high-tech security services in-car cam. I mean, he's just really nailing these turns. Not putting a lot of input into the wheel. You can see him get a little loose off the exit, but not like what we're seeing with Hunter Johnson. He's really got a handle on how his car is running. He's taking it easy. We're not seeing over-exert it, which is a really good sign to see, especially on the long run. Lap 43 of 125. If we're not mistaken, we're going to see possible pit stops coming in about 20 laps. So that's some time to save for these guys if they've been doing it. I'm kind of curious what Andrew Wisdom has been doing, if that's been part of the strategy.
The 50 was starting to fall off the pace. He is heading to pit road right now, and I was imagining 62 is kind of the very, very end. If these drivers don't think they can split it into one stop, they're going to try to split this perfectly into 2. And you can see John Honeycutt, he was heading to pit road. He had just lost second to Matthew O'Brien and was under fire from the 32, a heavily damaged 32, I might add. So the 50 of John Honeycutt really falling off a cliff at the very end of that run. He's going to want tires. He's one of the first drivers to hit pit road. So definitely not wanting to see a yellow now, and that is going to be an interesting strategy call. We'll see how it plays out for him.
Yeah, that's going to be our first of the final 4 to take a pit stop. We also had Douglas King go into pit road, and I do believe maybe Sean Burke. But besides that, a very early entry for John Honeycutt. He's going to be coming off of pit road now, as you see him back here on track, but that is going to put him a lap down. Andrew Wisdom still on the track. These guys are still holding out. Matthew O'Brien in second, Hunter Johnson in third.
And times are falling off about 1.2 seconds. Honeycutt had a couple of disastrous laps, and I think that's why he decided it was time to come into pit road. But it seems about 1.2 seconds, so a 7-second gap between those drivers when he opted to keep between himself and the leader, I should say, when he opted to come to pit road. So in theory, in 7 laps, he should be able to make up that gap with those fresher tires. But again, it just all depends on what Andrew Wisdom chooses to do with that massive lead that he has. He can go as long as he wants. He is in full control of this race. He's going to go dependent on what the 17 of Matthew O'Brien and such do. And I believe the 17, God, he's really fallen off. I thought he'd come to pit road, but that's just how far behind our leader he currently is. 8.015 seconds at the line.
Jordan, that's pretty incredible, I have to say. Andrew Wisdom just really looking confident out here, really just putting that gap for these other drivers. I mean, I don't know if anyone can catch him if this is how he's going to run all night. I mean, he's just been so incredibly strong. We still have 3 of the final 4 in the top 3, so these guys are really doing a great job. You can see Matthew O'Brien in second, Hunter Johnson right behind him, just a little bit back, but man, oh man, Wisdom, I gotta hand it to him. These guys have really put in the practice this week. I was talking to John Honeycutt, and he's saying, you know, just in one day, he put in about 4 hours of practice out there. So pretty incredible. These guys really wanted to nail this tonight, and Wisdom, I don't know how many hours of practice he's put in, but he looks like he put in a lot. He's doing a great job.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job, and again, there's really nothing these other 2 drivers can do from a strategy standpoint. The only thing they could have done alternatively is come down when John Honeycutt come in within another lap or so, and try to draw Andrew Wisdom down with them. But with them staying out, that allows Wisdom to stay out and play defense. Again, he has an 8.5 second lead to work with, and if he's using them as the marker, as the metric for the distance that he wants to keep between himself and that second pack of drivers that have been as spread out as he is from the rest of the field. Those 3 or 4 that were in that pack are incredibly even. But if he wants to keep that gap, all he has to do is just ride, and he can make any decision he wants. That's the benefit of getting a massive gap on the rest of the field. He just looks so smooth out there, hitting his marks and making laps around Phoenix Raceway.
Squid, thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. And I got to say, Jacob Kerr on pit road at the moment. Unfortunately, missed his pit stall. Had to pick it up and maneuver it around so he could get into pits here. But Sean Burke back onto pit road. Andrew Wisdom still out here on track. Matt O'Brien in second. Hunter Johnson in third. We're going to have Joel Conley in fourth. A great run for him tonight. Robert Reynolds in the top 5. Cole Snyder in 6. What do you see, Jordan?
Oh, I was just watching the one of Joel Conley get into turn 1. I thought he might kiss the wall, but he was able to get it slowed down just in time to not hit the big blue thing on the outside. But I'm really curious when these drivers are going to opt to come to pit road, because as far as they're going, it really does seem like they're going to try to split this race in half if possible. I'm just really curious if who's going to be able to make it. But once we get to 63, if any of these drivers go 63, then they're obviously in the clear. But we're going to have to find out. That seems like that was doable. But we'll find out for sure here in a matter of moments.
On board with Joel Conley heading through the corner, getting ready to go. Gets a little loose off that exit, heading through the dog leg here. So extremely close, but man, still looking pretty good. He's still hanging out P4 at the moment. Let's take a look. Cole Snyder, we were talking about him. He is in 6th. Charlie Mosley Jr. in 7th. Jamie Haynes in 8th. We have Tom Flitcroft in 9th. And Doc Holliday rounding out the top 10. Meanwhile, let's take a look. Our other championship contender out here.
Our leader is hit pit road.
Andrew Wisdom on pit road. John Honeycutt is directly in front of Matthew O'Brien and Hunter Johnson. So pretty interesting to see these guys here. But
that's an interesting call.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit early. I'm curious so close to the strategy where you could just make one stop, but man, I don't know at this point if you would be able to do it. You'd really have to save.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. I imagined that this would be about that area in about the 58, 59, 60, 61 laps, but lap 56 or 57, whenever it was he came in, that just feels a little bit early, and it really seems like he could have waited on these other drivers behind him to pit so that he could have that lap of fresher tires or whatever, or he'd at least wait until the end of the fuel and pit at the same time as them. So increasing his gap by undercutting the drivers behind him, an interesting decision there from the 9 of Andrew Wisdom.
Which makes it even more interesting for driver John Honeycutt, who's sitting P9 at the moment. So not such bad news after all. If we go green this entire time, you can see Andrew Wisdom directly behind him. Take a look at that as he is making his way around already. So very interesting here, and he's on much fresher tires, obviously. So it's going to be interesting to see what these guys do. Meanwhile, our new leader, Matt O'Brien, he's still out on track with Hunter Johnson, one of the final 4. He's still out there sitting P2.
Yeah, he's sitting out there P2, and I'm assuming, okay, the 32 is going to come in this time here at lap 60. So he's going to be close to being able to cut it in half. He's going to have to go 65 laps on the back half of this, which that's going to be a pretty tough ask out of that car. But yeah, again, I feel like that's savable, but you're just going to have to be real aggressive with it. But O'Brien continuing to log laps out here and kind of putting himself in the position to be the race winner and therefore the championship winner. John Honeycutt, with that undercut, was not able to clear Andrew Wisdom for very long. Wisdom's already gotten around him. Now O'Brien is coming in. So lap 61, he'll cross the start-finish line at lap 62, so he'll have technically completed lap 61. So 64 laps is what he will have to run on the back half of this. So does he have 3 more laps he can get out of this car on the back half of this race? We'll see. We'll find out. But some tense moments, some different strategies amongst our 4 leaders, and you kind of love to see that. We've seen different speeds, but we're also seeing completely different strategies that might play out completely differently depending on how this race goes.
Our leader, Joel Conley, going on to pit road. I wish him luck going on to pit road. You guys know he jokes about it. He's got a hard time getting there, but we'll see what he can do. Having a great run tonight. Matt O'Brien still on pit road here. Charlie Mosley Jr. On pit road. Doc Holliday on pit road. Cole Snyder still out on track. He's going to be our current leader, right behind Jacob Kerr, who has already gone in. Cole Snyder making his way on, making his way on to pit road here. More Than a Cape, what's up? How are you guys? Fabia says, drinking some wine now. Come on, 50, you got this. Alpha says he's so fast that him staying out is going to kill their long run.
And these are drivers that can for sure make it all the way. The 23 of Cole Snyder, Jamie Haynes, and Thomas Flitcroft. All 3 of them can definitely make it all the way. Joel Conley will have to save 1 extra lap in the second half of this race, but he definitely, it also seems, will be capable of making it. So those are 4 drivers that can definitely make it. None of those 4, worth noting, are playoff drivers. But then Matt O'Brien in the best shape as far as fuel goes of our 4 championship contenders.
This is so interesting. Wisdom already out with almost a 5.5 second lead here over John Honeycutt. Johnson is about 18 seconds behind. Matthew O'Brien 19 seconds behind. They will quickly close that gap as they are on much fresher tires. But Wisdom, I don't know, Jordan. This is just a very interesting strategy. If this stays green, and it looks to be a green flag, really long green flag run so far at lap 66 of 125. I want to see it go green. I want to see these guys race it out. But then again, part of me is like, let's have a little bit of a late caution. I want to see what happens. But man, different strategies here tonight.
I'm digging the difference in strategies, and the thing Wisdom can do now is he can run hot laps. He can run hot laps, cut the back half of this race in half. He came in at lap 53 or whenever it was. So he's got 70, whatever it is. He runs 35 hot laps, comes in pits, runs another 35 hot laps. I think he can make up that gap with a 17-second gap he has on Hunter Johnson. That will close because Johnson and O'Brien both have fresher tires than him, but even with that, he can run a bunch of hot laps. He had better pace than all three of those behind him. He can come in, pit again, maybe take a little less fuel so that the rear end didn't try to cut around on him as much. And I think he can make up that gap, but I love the difference in strategies. I love the different ideas in approaching this race. You have John Honeycutt with the straight up cut it into thirds. You have Wisdom, who came in a little earlier than I thought he should, but it has a backdoor way of working out in his favor if that's what his idea is. And he might have a better idea than what I'm coming up with in my head right now. He's definitely far more experienced driver, far more used to these types of situations, and has some far smarter people than me helping him out and working with him. So So I'm sure they have an idea on how to approach the remainder of this race. And meanwhile, you have Hunter Johnson, who got real close to being able to cut this race in half. You have Matthew Bryan, who's almost there as well. And then you have all these non-playoff drivers trying to steal this finale from our championship four.
I'm all for it. I want to, like you said, I want to see all the different strategies. Wisdom is out here on 13 lap-old tires. Honeycutt on 26 lap-old tires. Meanwhile, Johnson and O'Brien at 9 and almost 8 here. So it's going to be so incredibly close. And remember, guys, like Jordan said, there's a lot of guys going for this win tonight. Just because you're not in the Final Four doesn't mean you can't go for that win. They're still very much in a play and in a fight here for a win tonight. Some of them, their very first one, so I want to see what they can do. But Honeycutt about 8.5 seconds back from our leader, Andrew Wisdom. This guy is just on fire tonight. We saw it in practice, so very consistent, the fastest in practice, the fastest in qualifying, and clearly here tonight, he's the fastest in the race.
Matthew O'Brien, it looks like really starting to fall off the pace just a little bit. I think that's from saving. I think he's trying to make up those 3 or 4 laps that he needs to be able to make it to the end of the race compared to what he ran in that first run. Hunter Johnson seems to be keeping his normal pace. I think he's gaining on Andrew Wisdom just a little bit. I don't know how much he is saving by doing that, if he is saving at all. So again, just looking at the lap times, I love it. This is a very different race than anything we've seen, because we haven't seen long green flag runs like this, but with a smaller field, with a track where everyone's just kind of taking it easy and just trying to give each other room because they don't really know how it's going to react over the course of the race. It's kind of created the situation where it's going to be real difficult to get a yellow flag, and therefore strategy and the approach to the race is going to be what these drivers have to nail to get to the checkered flag first.
Yeah, absolutely. John Honeycutt back in that second position where he started at earlier in the race before he went into pit road. Matt O'Brien in this Melody Woodworks cam, you can just see it consistently running those laps, and it looks like he is catching up to Hunter Johnson, who was just up ahead. Very interesting out here. Hunter running, I'm pretty sure that's Hunter up there, running a little bit higher. Let me see. Before I say that, let's double check. Yeah, he's got, no, he is up further ahead from that. Let's think, I think that, yeah, that's Richard Rico up here in the 18, who is directly in front of Matthew.
Similar looking race cars. Yeah, two white and pink and black cars.
Yeah,
I think the 18's more white and pink, but yeah.
I know, so I saw the pink, I'm like,
cars.
Maybe not. But these guys are running very, very close here. You can see Matthew O'Brien getting ready to make his way around Richard Rico, who's got a frozen car out there, so you gotta love it. Thank you so much. Fabio says, yes, on fire, number 50, Honeycutt. Cookie Mon, what's up, Alpha? I know. He says even on older tires, they are not gaining on the 9. It's incredible, I gotta say. I don't know what this guy has under the hood, but man, oh man, he's got something. He's got something.
Yeah, and the tire pressures and the chassis and the way he's got a lot of stuff in that car that's actually he doesn't, but he's definitely he's got the line, maybe that steering offset, that steering ratio just where he likes it. Those things that I'm too much of a noob to play with. But a lot of these guys really, really smart, really understanding of how those settings can elongate the life of your tires. And this is a guy who's really smart, and on top of that, he's running a really smooth race, doing a great job protecting that right front and the right rear as well. He has a little bit of a bobble there as he comes off of turn 2, but otherwise, this 9 of Andrew Wisdom has held a pretty wheel all night, been nice and smooth, and he is continuing to pull away from John Honeycutt, who's going to be closing in on his pit cycle here as we hit lap 80.
Yeah, I want to take a look at that stint length that he has had so far 35 laps. His last run was 43, so as Jordan said, he is coming up on that pretty quickly here. Meanwhile, Wisdom almost 13 seconds ahead of P2 of John Honeycutt. Sean, what's up? How are you? Thank you so much for tuning in. Alpha says he's got the Hendrick engine on steroids. I'll tell you, he's got something. He's got NOS under that hood. I don't know what he's got, but he's got the consistency. He's got the speed. He's got the confidence. I mean, he was a little nervous before the race when I was talking to him, but he's definitely got it all together now. And this strategy, I'm loving it, but I just don't know that anyone's going to have anything for him. But it was so close just to making it to the halfway point. I'm curious if he's going to do what Jordan says and maybe short stop it, more short pit it, take 2 tires, a little bit of fuel. We'll see what he does.
I think you take 4. I mean, I really do. I think that distance, if you pit early enough, you take 4, and you just let it eat, because the car is going to be incredibly loose firing off, even if you don't take it, which is backwards for real life. I know in real life it should be tight, but with iRacing, it is incredibly loose firing off on 2 tires, even with trying to mitigate that with the amount of fuel you put in the race car. So I really think you want 4, and you just let her eat and see what happens. But again, Wisdom, a much better racer than I am, a lot more car control, and again, he's been in a lot of these situations a lot more often than I have, so he definitely has an idea of what he wants to do here. But the driver, I think, is in the best position is the 17 of Matthew O'Brien. He has the best fuel of the other 3. I think he's the one to watch here. I think the gap between Wisdom and O'Brien is the gap that we need to keep an eye on. Because I don't think O'Brien's coming in again. I think he's going to try to ride this out. He's going to try to go all the way on fuel. And I don't know if Hunter Johnson's going to try that strategy as well. He had come in a couple laps earlier than O'Brien. I don't know if he's going to be able to save that, but I imagine if he's seen the writing on the wall, he's probably backed off and is attempting to save as well. I don't know if he can get it done, but we're going to find out here before too long, as we are at lap 85 of 125.
You know, I'm watching Matt O'Brien right now, and he is just really letting off super early, letting it roll through the corner and really taking it easy. The 97 pulls over for him. He's got 23 laps on this run. He made it to 61. So, man, he is just really taking it easy out there. I'm really liking his position, as you said. He's taking it very easy, trying to save that fuel, save the tires, not pushing it. And that's what we see from Matthew O'Brien. That's why he's in the final 4. He's so consistent. He's able to save it, and he's always under the radar. He doesn't mess with a lot of guys, doesn't get too aggressive. He just kind of sneaks up there, and by the time he's up there, he's like, hey, I'm here, I'm going for the win. So if he does get this, it's going to be his second win of the night, but he just has to cross the line before any of the final 4 do.
Hearing John Honeycutt has come to pit road, so he has entered his last pit cycle of the race. Maybe a little later than I think he would have wanted to, but either way, Honeycutt is in to make his final stop of the race, and now he's going to run hot laps to the end of this thing and see how it works out for him, if that was the correct strategy, if he has the pace to pull it off. But the Nine of Wisdom is on a very similar strategy to his, on pretty much the same one. So I don't think that is going to be a race-winning move. I think he needs the Nine of Wisdom to come in and pit, and then he needs both of them to be able to unlap themselves from the 32 and the 17 for him, and then get a yellow flag for him to have any chance of winning the title here tonight. But only 6 cars on the lead lap, so still a lot of opportunity to get track position back, to get some lucky dogs if this race goes full PSES here at the end. Which we've seen these races get pretty crazy, get pretty wild, and get pretty physical in the final home stretch of these races.
Viking, what's up? Thank you so much for tuning in here. Hope you're doing well. He says, I think the driver with the best spot is Johnson. He's about 17 seconds behind Andrew Wisdom. We'll see what he can do out here, but man, oh man, I'm loving the different strategies. I just don't know how much they're going to work out with how fast Wisdom is. He's so consistent out there, but O'Brien, he's really saving. It's so obvious that he's saving out there. We'll just see. These guys are teammates. He is teammates with Andrew Wisdom in Nitro Motorsports. So we'll see, have they talked about their strategies? Teammates or not, this is down to a championship race, so they're not going to help each other when it comes down to the final lap and possible strategies. It may be a completely different thing just based on that. Like, I don't want to let you know what I'm doing. It's for a championship. Contemplation all over the place over there, huh?
I'm as Larry Mack would say, I'm crunching my calculator right now, but it's looking like the 9 came off of pit road on lap 57, which I feel like is later than what I originally thought, but either way, he came out on lap 57, so he's going to have to run 68 laps on this tank of gas to be able to make it all the way. He is still
gonna be tough.
Out on the racetrack. Yeah, he's still out on the racetrack. We're about to the point where he'd be cutting this last stint in half. He's still staying out there. I'm just so blown away. I mean, we've seen these guys, it's been like, hey, they're close on fuel, why are they taking it so easy, blah 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 blah, and they were saving and doing a really good job of saving and managing their fuel mileage. So Wisdom might have the ace up his sleeve to be able to pull that off, but that just feels like a lot of laps to be able to pull off when so many drivers that were obviously running a fuel save strategy were only able to go 63, 64, 65 at most.
Andrew Wisdom with the longest stint out here, 39 laps. Johnson in 34, and even on older tires, he is still putting a gap on these guys. Hunter Johnson, well, that answers that. I mean, he's still putting a gap. We have Hunter Johnson in. Andrew Wisdom, he is now in. Very interesting for these guys. So they are now going to be on the same amount of laps here. So we'll see what happens. But man, oh man, this is getting crazy, Jordan. This is getting crazy.
Yeah, he'll have 29 hot laps. He'll have 28 full hot laps because whenever he comes out, he'll immediately be on lap 97. But yeah, he'll have 28 hot laps to run to try to make up this gap. I'm really curious to see what he opts for. I'm going to be watching him see. Hunter Johnson has also come to pit road as well.
Yes.
So both of those two, yeah. All right, let's see. Wisdom, right sides are on it. What's gonna go on? Yep, left sides are on it as well. So 4 tires for Wisdom now. He's gonna run hot laps to try to run down Matthew O'Brien.
Hunter Johnson already back out on track. We're going to see what these guys can do. Matt O'Brien in the current lead with Joel Conley in second, Cole Snyder in third, and Andrew Wisdom already in fourth, 15 seconds behind our leader. Ah, man. This is crazy.
Yeah, he can make that up pretty pretty easily. If it's going to be over a second a lap for a little while, it's obviously gonna plateau out. But I really feel like that gap is going to be. It's certainly not an insurmountable one by any stretch of the imagination. This is going to be a really, really interesting finish here. Can the 17 keep up the pace? Can he save the fuel? Can he maintain that gap? Can the 9 of Andrew Wisdom run him down? I think the 9's going to get him, but I don't know for sure.
99 of 125. I want to watch the time for Andrew Wisdom. Closing that gap, you can see it there, but how fast can he do it? Matthew O'Brien obviously saving. It's definitely going to crunch down the numbers here. I just have numbers all over the place. Jordan, it's just going to be so incredibly close. Lap 100 of 125. No cautions yet here tonight. And you guys know, knock on wood, if there is a caution, this absolutely changes everything. And in that case, I feel like Andrew Wisdom, if he's out front, he's going to get away again.
I mean, at this point, there's really nothing anyone can do about it. He's going to be the fastest car on the racetrack for the rest of this race. It's just about what can the Matthew O'Brien do to maintain that gap. He can make the number, and that's going to be the most important thing. If you don't make the number, then you can't win the race. But it's can he make the number and keep the pace to stay ahead of the 9 of Andrew Wisdom. This is a bad strategy. Now you're forcing Wisdom to run somebody down. Like, that's the thing. O'Brien, he played his cards, and now they're out there, and now you've put the pressure on the 9. The 17 can just run nice, easy laps. He can take it easy, save the fuel. He's got 32 behind them. Those two have a lot of history. How clean will this pass be? This is going to be interesting to watch as the 32 goes to unlap himself. The 32 going to go by, the 17 off the gas really early, so no event there. But the 9 of Andrew Wisdom has already put it down underneath 10 seconds. I believe that gap going to be much, much tighter here whenever he crosses the line.
Yeah, that gap closing very, very quickly. We just saw it, and it was around 14 seconds, and already, already at 8.5 seconds in closing. Just since I said that, I mean, absolutely incredible. Andrew, I feel like he's going to catch him. 23 laps to go. There's just no way. There's just no way. It's going to be so incredibly close. This is crazy.
Yeah, there's a number of cars in between Wisdom and O'Brien. Again, this is forcing Wisdom's been on cruise control the entire race. Now he has to run people down. Now he has to make sure he hits a number that and close this gap before the end of this race. So we're come around. It's going to be lap 105. There's going to be 21 laps to go, and that's definitely a number that's not going to be. Again, it's not an insurmountable one by any stretch of the imagination. It's one that, by the numbers, it seems like he's going to be able to close. But again, those tires are going to start plateauing, and he's going to have to work his way through lap traffic. There's currently 3 cars between himself and their leader. He's going to have to navigate those without incident, without making any mistakes. And again, the pressure is on him. All the 17 has to do is cruise and hit his number. All the pressure now is on the 9.
The 9 of Andrew Wisdom on the high-tech security services in-car cam. This guy is just on the move. I'm just blown away at his run here and how he's able to hold on to this. I mean, absolutely incredible. And take a look at that gap, guys. Just a few laps ago, we were at 14 seconds behind our leader, Matthew O'Brien. He is now sitting under 5 seconds, quickly approaching Joel Conley. I just absolutely incredible. This guy, this track loves Andrew Wisdom. I just don't see how Matthew O'Brien is going to be able to hold off Wisdom at this point.
Yeah, that gap was 4.5 seconds the last time at the line. Joel Conley also on the strategy. He's currently in second, but he is about to lose that position to the 9 of Wisdom. Wisdom going to go around, take that spot away. There are now 17 laps remaining in this race. 18 laps remaining in this race. Coming down to the wire, the 9 of Wisdom has closed it to 3.6 seconds. And on top of that, for the 17, the 20 and the 18 are both closing down on him as well. The 20 going to got a little loose. He's going to let the 18 of Rico go by. Kerr and Rico, how easily will they get around this 17? The 17 obviously not going to try to make it difficult for him because that's going to cost them time, but right now it's looking like that's not going to mean anything because the 9, again, looming in the distance and reeling him in.
Yeah, this is pretty incredible, I have to say. These guys just, what a race tonight. I'm so impressed with these drivers and the strategies that they're trying to pull out here, but you can see Matthew O'Brien side by side here. So incredibly close, but I just don't see how Wisdom, he's already under a second and a half here. You can see him right in the camera view here.
Yeah, and this is 2 straight corners that O'Brien's had to run offline, so that's cost him even more time here.
We had Combat saying 15 to go, he'll be there. Combat, he's already here, and we have...
He's there.
He's here. He is almost going side by side for the lead. This is just insane. Oh my gosh. Here we go for the lead. These two side by side. Wisdom already a nose out on the low side. Already tucked in front of his teammate of the number 17, Matthew O'Brien. He's back in the lead, guys. 15 to go.
Yeah, and the 17 not even able to mount a charge on 9 with a late move. The 17 couldn't do anything but run that high line through 1 and 2, let him go. Now he's gonna watch that championship slip away. He won one Monday night. Really fast run at Charlotte Speedway in the PSES trucks, but right now he is sitting in second place and watching his teammate Andrew Wisdom drive off with 13 laps remaining in this race when they cross the line here.
Yeah, and you know, Matthew O'Brien, he's on 51 lap run here. So Wisdom is on 16 old lap tires. So he's good to go. I mean, he's ready to run the rest of this race. Matthew O'Brien, he's on very old tires here. We'll see if he can even make it to the finish at this point. He's going to have to save. I know he's saving at the moment. He's got to be. But this guy has already won a championship this week, looking to make another win for the title here. I don't know that's going to happen. Wisdom is just too strong out there. He's already put him down 2 seconds. And that's just within a couple of laps, Jordan.
Yeah, and the 17, he needs a yellow flag because he can't drive too hard or else he won't hit his number. So he has to continue the pace that he's on. The 9, meanwhile, can run as hard as he wants. He's got the tire and the fuel to make it all the way. The only thing that can change the complexion of this race is a yellow flag. And even then, it's looking like the battle would only be between Wisdom and O'Brien. Honeycutt had some really good short run speed earlier on in the race, currently in 4th, so he would be in a good position as well. Hunter Johnson in 6th at the moment behind Cole Snyder. So right now, it's I want to say it's a 2-horse race, but without a yellow flag, it is very much Andrew Wisdom's championship to lose, as there are now 10 laps remaining, 9.5 once he gets out of this corner.
This is crazy. This has gone so fast in the championship race here. I'll tell you what, this is Andrew Wisdom's race to lose, and Combat says, unless Wisdom disconnects, it's all over. I mean, the only way is something insane happens. We've seen it before, but man, oh man. He's got the car, he's got the speed, confidence, consistency. It's all there. I mean, this is his race tonight. Absolutely. But let's take a look at Joel Conley. Let's go, Joel, man. I'm so excited for him. P3 at the moment, about 6 seconds behind our leader, just having a great run. You love to see it.
Yeah, and he was another one of the championship 4 for Monday night. Had a strong run, kind of threw a whole Mary to try to to try to win it, and was ultimately unsuccessful. But backing up last week's championship attempt with a really, really good run tonight. If the 17 runs out of fuel, he has the opportunity to finish second, but I think O'Brien seems very confident he's going to be able to make it all the way based on the pace that he is running. But right now it is all about the 9 of Andrew Wisdom, who is currently pulling away from the entire field. Behind him, a heck of a battle for the lucky dog position between 2 teammates is Thomas Flitcroft and Jacob Kerr side by side going through turns 1 and 2.
Raging Baboon says, is there any prizes to winning this? One of our sponsors, pretty amazing out here. Let's bring them up. Melody Woodworks. These guys will be giving a trophy out to the championship winner. And of course, you got bragging rights. I mean, this is the Cup Series. This is tough, guys. This is an entire season since February, following, for the most part, the NASCAR schedule. So these guys have put in so many hours, so many laps, such hard work. 6 to go. I mean, it is coming down to a finish here as the number 9 is moving along lap traffic, but this is his race, Jordan.
There were a gaggle of cars going into turn 1. The 50 of John Honeycutt leading them. He is currently in the 4th spot. Hunter Johnson closing in on him, trying to take that position away. Behind them, the 88 of Doc Holliday seems to be on fresher tires as he has a little more pace than those two at this moment. He is currently 2 laps down in the 13th position. Those two had to work a couple slower drivers. Oh, the 50 of Honeycutt, he gets loose. And here is some commotion from over my alternate radio. I think the 20 and the 8 might had a nervous moment.
We saw last week, we were talking about it. That's Jacob Kerr and Tom Flitcroft in the number 20 and the number 8. And these two teammates, and they ran into trouble earlier in the race last week. So John Honeycutt on the outside, getting ready to be passed by Hunter Johnson, who is on the inside. This is for P4. Meanwhile, 3 laps to go. Andrew Wisdom is about 6 seconds ahead of Matthew O'Brien.
Oh!
So close there.
Ooh. Yeah, the 50 shut the door on the 32. The 32 had it cranked to try to get under him and eventually had to back out of it. Got a little bit loose. These two driving really hard for this position. Hunter Johnson getting loose off the corner. Honeycutt not wanting to give up this 4th spot. These two are really, really close to wrecking. The 32 piles it to the corner, slides up the track, now tries to work his way down the elevator to get to that yellow line. Not able to. The 50 gets incredibly loose off the corner. They're going to have 2 laps to go when they cross the start-finish line. But this is all happening 20-plus seconds behind our leader, Andrew Wisdom.
Yeah, you would think these two were going after the championship for this position right now. Absolutely crazy, but 2 to go. Take a look at Andrew Wisdom. Just took the white flag out here. Oh, man, Andrew Wisdom, such a strong run, a strong season, 9 wins so far. He's about to make it 10 and take home the championship title. Absolutely incredible for him. Andrew Wisdom going to be the winner here at Phoenix Raceway for the Melody Woodworks. 125 laps. A huge congratulations to him. Absolutely incredible. Way to get it done. We have Matthew O'Brien going to be in 2nd. Joel Conley in 3rd. John Honeycutt still going side by side. These two are sideways. They wreck. They go through the line completely wrecked. Hunter Johnson, from what it looks like, took over P4. Honeycutt in 5th. And I'll tell you what a battle out here. Absolutely incredible. But Jordan, what a race.
Yeah, that was a fun race to watch. I enjoyed that. The strategies were aplenty. They were differing, and it was a lot of fun to watch. But dang, the 9 of Andrew Wisdom had too much speed. Was able to overcome. I don't know if he wanted to pit when he did. Maybe he wasn't privy to the fuel mileage, but he was able to call an audible if that was not his strategy. He was able to call the audible, win the championship, and again, well earned today. Definitely the fastest car here tonight, the fastest car in many races this season, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, what a drive out here. We see him celebrating. Huge congratulations to him. I'm trying to get Joel Conley in here too. Let's try to get him in.
Oh God.
What a ride.
The fastest car in many races this season.
You can see Andrew Wisdom out here celebrating. I don't know that anyone had anything for you as far as speed. Strategies were being played tonight. Did you guys have a plan for strategies? Did you know that you were going to pull out different strategies here?
I I just pitted about like 8 laps after Honeycutt on both runs. It made me nervous with the strategy. Just I was waiting for the yellow to come out because I short pitted, honestly. So I'm just glad that we went green there. Yeah, I thought we were going to be fast, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. I just can't believe it right now.
An incredible run. I'll tell you what, Jordan and I had a blast out here in the booth. A lot of people out here rooting for you guys and just amazed by the strategies that you guys were running out here and the speed. You were so incredibly fast. I gotta ask, how much practice did you put in for this race?
I think I ran somewhere close to around like 150 laps, I think, between the last couple of days. And then I spent a lot of time studying like Casey Kerwin and Graham Bolin, all those guys when they did NIS last night. I spent a lot of time watching their patterns and lines and stuff like that just to try to get a grip on the track. So did a lot more prep work for this one than I did in pretty much any other race. So I guess that paid off.
It definitely paid off. A huge congratulations. You are now race winner of 10 races and you hold the championship title. So you can't beat that. An amazing season. So fun to watch you out there. Just a huge congratulations. A lot to celebrate here tonight. And I got to tell you, I don't know if you knew, but Melody Woodworks, our sponsor for the race, are going to be handing you out a trophy.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
So a huge congratulations. Really awesome to see that.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jordan, over to you.
Here with Matthew O'Brien, a champion Monday night, comes up one spot short here tonight. How early did you commit to the fuel mileage strategy? Was that a pre-race decision? Were you aware of the number? Was that an early in the run, the first run decision? And were you thinking you could have gotten him there? Just talk about your night and what else you needed to do to accomplish beating that 9 car.
I kind of committed to it. I'm like, basically me trying to get, because I had that weird start. I felt like I was about to get wrecked on lap 1, turn 1. So I lost the second and third, and fell to 4th. And by the time I got by him, I just knew that, like, all right, I'm gonna have to try to stretch it on one stop and see what happens and hope luck falls my way. But yeah, I didn't have anything for Andrew on pure speed. I kind of knew it going in. I know he's better than me here. To be honest, it's probably my worst oval of all of them.
Oh yeah, it helps when NASCAR changes the championship race to my favorite track. That helps things.
That helps. That helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at that, I knew at like lap 30, I was like, I'm gonna have to try to stretch it. And basically, what I was doing, I was just letting off the gas and coasting into the turns. And I knew it, I saw Z came out like 15 seconds behind. I was like, yeah, there's no way. I mean, I was like, when I was gonna decide to one stop, I'm like, I'm not gonna be satisfied with second if I just run his second. So I needed to try something and still finish second. So it is what it is, but I'm not that disappointed.
Well, if we would have gotten that a late yellow that we're kind of used to seeing here over here, would you have been willing to move him? What would you have done to try to win that thing?
I would be more worried about people behind.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I would have sent it, but I think I can trust in my car control not to hit him. I can't envision myself hitting someone out of the way.
Well, still, that was a trap question just for funsies, because we didn't have a whole lot of stuff for this one. But
a caution-free race was not in what I was thinking was going to happen.
But anyways, another strong run for Matthew O'Brien. Yet again, strong all season. One of our championship 4 definitely showed he deserved to be part of it tonight. Came up just short in second. Back to you, Frozen.
The only non-playoff driver, non-championship contender out here, Joel Conley. glad to have you in the booth. Top 3 out here tonight. A huge congratulations to you. You finally pulled the race together, got a great finish. How was your car out there tonight?
Oh man, it was great. I'd like to let everybody know I outran Hunter Johnson and I didn't screw up on pit road. 2 great things. Feels good to finally put a whole race together in the Cup Series.
Well, what a race to do it in. The final race of the season. So a great finish to a great season. I enjoyed watching you out there and seeing how much you grew as a driver throughout it. So huge congratulations to you out there. Really fun to watch you battle it out with everyone.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. I just want to say I let those guys race at the start. That was a little bit scary. And congratulations to Andrew. He was class of the field all year for sure.
Yeah, he had an insane season. 10 wins this season. So way to get it done. But you guys, I had to bring in Hunter Johnson and John Honeycutt. We have to take a look. I want to see if I can get back to that finish. What a wild finish. Let's see if we can go back to that here.
No.
We have to see it. We have to see it.
No.
What? We're going to back this up. You guys can watch the replay of it.
No, just in string. Race over. In string. We're good.
Sideways going through the corner, both of them. John Honeycutt, they make contact. I mean, a wild finish, a wild season. I just had to bring you in here. You finished P4, John Honeycutt in 5th. You guys, I just want to say you should be so proud of how you finished this year and everything you guys have accomplished. And what a crazy finish. What happened on your end there, Hunter?
I don't know. I had a short pit because I knew if I didn't pit, John was going to beat me. So I had a short pit, a little bit shorter than I wanted to. Then the whole last section, I was playing chase to John, so trying as hard as I possibly can to go catch him. I knew within like the ending I was going to get there. I didn't think I was actually going to, go underneath him for it. I figured it'd be kind of on his bumper, but he was fighting hard loose. I was fighting loose, just trying to get to him. He went wide into 3 and 4. I went low, got loose, come off the corner sideways. I didn't know where he was. I was hoping he was by the wall because that's as far as I was going to go, and ended up getting door and both of us spinning out.
It was a pretty wild finish. Honeycutt, you finished P5. How you feeling after the season and after this race?
I'm thankful for this whole league and just being on iRacing and being on FTR with you and Tom and Kerr and Jose and my ex teammate here, who I had the pleasure to spinning out here coming to the finish. It was fun. I had Repeat as my crew chief. He was trying to help me out with strategizing. We were trying to break up the race in 3 sections, and we were gonna go with one stop, kind of like what Matt did, but we wanted to kind of break it up to see if we could do something different and maybe have another advantage. But I don't know. The tires were just gone by the time Johnson got to me. I knew I had to stick to the outside. That was the only chance I had to kind of keep the wheels straight and get on the gas a little bit harder off the exits. And I figured I'd give him the inside lane when we were coming to the checker flag, and I was kind of hoping for us to have a cool side-by-side finish, and I just couldn't hold the rear end anymore. It was just so far gone, and I just couldn't even touch the gas. So it was tough. It was a tough race, but congratulations to Andrew. He's been, like I said, he's been setting the bar all year long. He's been leading the way with his 9 wins, and he's dominant. He's like a machine behind the steering wheel. So congratulations to him for the win.
Absolutely. A huge congratulations for the championship win for Andrew Wisdom. 10 wins this season, and this is it. Season 2 is now officially over. What a wild season. I want to thank all the admins once again for having Jordan and I here, and to all the drivers who have been absolutely amazing. So fun to watch your growth and just watch the racing. I mean, tonight was so different from what we've seen, so it was pretty cool to see. Jordan, it's been fun with you, fella.
Yeah, it's been a fun season. A lot of different races, a lot of different styles of racing, and And tonight was a refreshing change. Green the whole way, a lot of strategies come into play. At the end of the day, brute force speed was what won the night. Andrew Wisdom coming home the champion and winning in PSES's second season the trophy. So really fun. Had a blast here in the booth with you, and can't wait for what's next.
That's it for us. I want to thank you guys for supporting the drivers and us in the booth. Miss Liz, Halloween, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. That is it for us tonight. We're going to bring up the championship winner one more time. A huge congratulations to Andrew. And this is it for us. Good night to season 2. It's been a blast, guys.